Yeah, I mean, Tennessee proved why they got the number one defense in the country. They did a great job on us. We turned the ball over way too much. I mean, they had 8 turnovers. We had 19 turnovers. They scored 2, or we scored 2 points off their 8 turnovers. They scored 26 points off our 19 turnovers. To me, that's the biggest area of the game. And, it was their physicality. They got into our guards. We didn't handle it well. We obviously didn't do a great job preparing our guys to go against the physicality that was going to come with this game. The underneath out of bounds where we turned it over a few times. We coaching staff's got to do better. I got to do a better job getting us ready to play in a game like this. We only get them once. If we get them again, it'll be the SEC tournament. So hopefully we're better prepared to play against a defense like this. And, our guys have now seen it. I mean, there's the reason these guys are good. I mean, their record isn't what everybody thought it was going to be in conference because they've been maybe the unluckiest team I've seen with the last 2 losses. I haven't seen anybody lose back-to-back games quite like they did, but this is a really good team, and they just showed it tonight. So, our other issue was we didn't finish at the rim well. I mean, but they've got shot blocking. They got presence at the rim. We shot 6 of 20 at the rim for 30%. So, if you finish 30% at the rim and have 19 turnovers, you're going to make it really hard on yourself to win. I thought our defense was good enough to win the game. We ended up out-rebounding them. They're a great rebounding team. Brandon and Clowney with 11 and 10 rebounds each. I thought they played pretty well on the glass, but our offense let us down tonight.
Coach, I noticed you went to the full court press the last couple minutes to try to catch up. The team seems pretty well constructed for full court pressure with the depth you have and the defensive athleticism. How confident are you in the full court press going forward if you need it again?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't needed it. Our defense, we were 5th in the country in defensive efficiency coming in tonight, so our defense has been pretty good. When you get down, you got to go to it. We do have enough depth, and we can go smaller, quicker at the 5 with, like, Clowney, or Charles. You could tell Charles wasn't 100% tonight. We tried to play him, saw him. He wasn't himself, so we kind of went away from him in the second half. But, yeah, you could put a rim protector like Charles back there, and hopefully we won't need to go to it too much. We haven't been down like that late in the game much this year. But, yeah, I mean, if we need to, we can go to it.
Awesome. Yeah, you kind of compared this Tennessee's team, and their physicality to Houston. You won that game. What was kind of the difference tonight?
Yeah, we didn't turn the ball over that much in the second. I mean, Houston's physicality and pressure bothered us early, and then I thought we settled in and did a better job late. We got more stops against Houston late too, where our defense was not the issue tonight overall, but we couldn't get stops late in the game when we needed to, and we did against Houston. So, we found a way to get some stops and score some buckets, kind of open that thing up against Houston. We couldn't do that against them tonight.
You mentioned Chuck being limited. How much did that affect what you guys were able to do defensively? You talked about how the defense runs through him. How much did that affect things?
Yeah, I mean, they were obviously able to finish some stuff at the rim late that I don't think they would have got if Chuck was healthy. But, stretches. Clowney's played well for us. Clowney played well tonight. They had 2 guys out too. So, they'd have been a lot better if their 2 guys played too. So that's basketball. At least Charles was able to give us some minutes. But, yeah, I do think he would have impacted the game defensively. He always kind of anchors our defense, makes it harder to score in the paint. And we didn't have him, so it hurt. But we're not to play without guys, different guys when they're hurt.
In the back. Hey, Coach. Simon Williams with WZDX, Fox 54 in Huntsville. This is the number 1 ranked defense in the metrics, and you said they showed it for a reason. What did this week look like in preparation for that, and then how did it show itself in this game?
I mean, we tried to emulate it. You can't kind of have your scout team be a little more physical, and we obviously didn't do a good enough job. I mean, it's impossible for your scout team to emulate these guys, and then we don't play the same way we do. I mean, our defense is pretty good. I mean, they've got some bigger obviously Ziegler's quick, but outside of Ziegler, their guards are big, strong, kind of physical, and Ziegler can get up under you. They're into you a lot. Like, and we try to be some, but, you know, we've got a little bit different defensive game plan than they do, and theirs is obviously really good, and they recruit to it, and they've got a great roster for it, and ours is pretty good too. I mean, we're top 5 in the country. You just when they play different than you play, you can't really go first team, second team, and totally emulate it, and with a 2-day prep. But we tried. I mean, we'll try to do a little bit better. And it's one of those deals where, you know, when you've got some days here moving forward where it maybe isn't the day after a game and not the day before a game, it's maybe mix some of this stuff in moving forward to just kind of get ready for them the second time you play them.
Two more, Charlie.
When you're maybe looking for a bright spot, just what did you think of Jaden Bradley and his aggressiveness and ability to get to the rim?
Yeah, I mean, he attacked our pressure like we needed to. He had 4 assists, 2 turnovers. I mean, you kind of look down the list. There's nobody else had a positive assist turnover ratio. The best anybody else had was even. So, you know, and he got to the free throw line. He converted them fairly well. He's 10 of 14. So I thought he attacked it the way we needed to. You know, it's probably why he played the most out of all those guards. So, you know, we got to get our other guards, you know, kind of look at, we got to get Mark and Javon. And Javon's been good against these guys in the past. I was hoping he'd kind of get it going. He you know, his shooting percentage and turnovers I thought were a little uncharacteristic of him tonight, but he didn't handle their pressure as well as we'd have liked.
Last one in the front.
How do you feel Jemai Meshack and Jonas Adu kind of impacted what y'all wanted to do offensively tonight?
I mean, what did Adu had 3 blocks? Yeah, I mean, I remember a couple layups that I thought you would have had, and he protects the rim and, you know, does a great job for him. And Meshack's definitely in there for his defense. That's why they're playing him. He does a good job. I mean, he was physical with Brandon. He made Brandon's night a lot harder, you know, than it would have been. I mean, you know, they've got defensive players on that team. I mean, you kind of go down the line. I mean, even Julian Phillips is a great defender. Didn't play tonight, but you look at the guys that they're playing. I mean, they kind of tighten their rotation up to 8 guys. All 8 of those guys really guard on the defensive end. And Meshack, I mean, they talk about Meshack being a stopper. I mean, he played over 27 minutes and didn't score a point. So he's obviously in there for his impact on the defensive end. He did a great job tonight.